In the meantime, for some of the biggest stories in the markets, I'm going to be going right now to Caroline Wood, Senior Markets Correspondent here on Schwab Network, so we can talk more about a little bit about travel, Nvidia. You have a couple of things you're covering. I think we're starting with Nvidia, which clearly is the big story of the day.
It is the big story. The numbers were huge. It was a blowout quarter. Not seeing it reflected in the stock price today. Shares off only actually about 1.2% right now, so already cutting earlier losses in half, so already off the lows of the session. We saw this last time Nvidia reported results as well. It's just a company that had run so far, so fast, and even hugely surpassing expectations didn't necessarily mean green arrows for the stock, but one day doesn't make a trend, of course. Running through the numbers, EPS of $4.02 per share, easily topped analyst expectations. Revenue surged 205% to $18.12 billion. That's a new record. Data center revenue totaled $14.5 billion, up nearly 280%, also well above estimates. For the current quarter, Nvidia forecasts revenue of $20 billion at the midpoint, so the consensus was $18 billion, so continuing to see revenue increase. But the chipmaker did warn of a negative impact in the next quarter due to those export restrictions that we've known about in China. They warned that they expect their sales to China and other countries to decline significantly in the fourth quarter of fiscal 2024. Though they believe the decline will be more than offset by strong growth in other regions. So still expecting growth, but a negative impact from China and the Middle East. On the earnings call, Nvidia said it was working with some customers in China and the Middle East to pursue licenses from the U.S. government, but it said it's too early to know whether these will be granted for any significant amount of revenue. Several price target hikes following these results. Wall Street incredibly bullish on this name. I will say Edward Jones downgraded it to hold, but almost every analyst is in the buy camp, despite the fact that it's up almost 240% in 2023. The median price target, $625.
Right.
Rosenblatt as high as $1,100 a share. Nvidia currently trading at $493. So
right, and they felt that they could. I mean, the CFO actually said on the call that while that area, the China area, significantly will hit some numbers. In the meantime, we believe the decline will be more than offset by strong growth in other regions. So I guess maybe we'll have a little back and forth in the near term, but to your point, most of these analysts with up arrows for the most part. Then we have two stories in one. I mean, in that you have a UAL story, and then you have the big every airline on Thanksgiving travel time story.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on with these names.
Well, we're seeing a lot of strength in travel stocks today. Lower oil prices, which I know you'll be talking about later in the show, definitely helping. Oil's on the decline because of that delayed OPEC Plus meeting. That certainly is giving a boost to some of the airlines. Plus, we know it's a busy travel time. It's the Thanksgiving holiday. The AAA projects 55.4 million travelers will head 50 miles or more from home over the Thanksgiving holiday travel period. Nearly 4.7 million Americans will fly for Thanksgiving. That's up 6.6% from last year. Also higher than pre-pandemic levels, which I think is important to note. The average domestic flight, $681. That's up 5% year over year. So people are certainly spending quite a bit.
More people traveling, and it's more expensive.
And it's more expensive. And then you mentioned United Airlines specifically. We're seeing, outsized strength in UAL today. Well, actually, you know what I will say? It was up more than 4%. Now it's up about 2.2%. But there's this Wall Street Journal report that United Airlines is actually considering using passenger data to help brands serve targeted ads to its customers. So they could appear on the in-flight entertainment systems, the TVs that you look at when you're flying, or on the United app. They haven't actually made a decision of whether or not they're going to do that yet, but it's something being tossed around. We're seeing a lot of people trying to utilize the data of their customers to better target and to obviously create ad revenue there. So it could be giving a bit of a boost, but I think this has more to do with the fact that it's a strong holiday period and oil prices are definitely, helping. But if you take a look, airlines, cruise lines, Expedia, Booking, hotels, all higher today.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. I'm not sure I would like some more targeted ads at me, but I understand why a business.
It's expensive enough to travel. You don't want to spend more money on the flight.
Thank you so much, Caroline.